Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Ark Survival Evolved. Today, as this video's title suggests, I will be showing you how to tame the Dimorphodon. And this is part of my How to Tame Dinosaurs series for Ark, in which I will be covering absolutely every creature that can be tamed in the game. Now, one thing that you need to know about Dimorphodons is that sometimes, or oftentimes, they will fly around kind of in packs, if you will, or close to each other. If you attack one Dimorphodon, you run the risk of course, aggroing others. They are knockout tames, and they do fly, and so they are also quite small and sometimes hard to spot. They do sometimes land on the ground as well, and in order to successfully knock out a Dimorph, you will want to have some bolas with you. You will want, I would say, a long neck rifle, but you can do this probably with a crossbow and trank arrows, but I prefer a long neck rifle with trank darts. And another thing to know about the Dimorphodons is that when they are aggroed, they will attack the player regardless if you are mounted or not. So very useful skill. This is especially good in PvP. So first things first, you want to bolo it. This time around, this Dimorphodon was just walking about on the ground. Then you want to start pumping it full of darts. Now, in your case, for example, you may end up seeing the Dimorphodon that you want flying about. So you want to get close to it, you want to bolo it. That means it will bring it to the ground and then swap to whatever method that you're going to use to knock it out. I recommend using the long neck rifle with darts, but of course you can also use the crossbow with trank arrows. Now, as you can see, it does not have a lot of torpor. It does go down fairly quick, and so we will need to use a bit of narcotics with it. I'm going to place a stack of 10 of narcotics in it, wait for the torpor to go down. I'm going to wait for it to kind of reach somewhere where it says torpidity, so halfway through it, around there. Then feed it that 10 stack of narcotics and then go and get some food for it. Now, you may have noticed that I did not mention what it likes with regard to taming food. It does like the raw mutton, and it does like the raw prime meat. These are the best things that you can use to tame it with. You can, of course, also use the cooked variants of this, as well as normal meat. It does take longer with normal meat, so you will need, of course, more narcotics. So what I'm going to do here is, and what I suggest that you guys do, is you wait for the Dimorphodon's torpidity to go down. I normally like to wait for it to get to where the word torpidity is, or halfway through it. Then I will pump it full of narcotics. So we're nearly there, as you can see. And then whilst the torpidity is rising, it does give me that extra time to go and find some meat for it. I am going to be using raw prime meat. I know there are some Brontos around my base, so I will go and take them out. This is probably the best way of doing it. Now, if you are on the ground in a dangerous area, I would definitely try and use some spiked walls to protect it whilst it is down. You never know when something may accidentally end up attacking it. So I'm going to feed it the narcotics. Whilst the torpidity is going up, it's not going down. It does give me that extra time to go and find the meat that I need to give it. Now, I know a location where the Brontos tend to spawn, or where I saw Bronto a while back when scouting for potential meat sources. So I'll use my wyvern. You can use whatever creature you want to take out a Bronto. You're going to have to do it fairly quick, though, because, of course, you don't have a lot of time on your hands. You should have enough time to actually take down a Bronto if you have a good damaging dino. So I'm going to harvest the Bronto. Once you harvest the Bronto with your creature or whatever, I would recommend a creature. Leave it in the creature's inventory, because the spoil timer for the raw prime meat is actually longer than it would be in the player's inventory. So I'm going to return back to where my Dimorphodon is. I'm going to land next to it, and then I will grab all of the raw meat and place it into the Dimorphodon's inventory. So I'm going to use the search box. There we go. We don't want the crossbows, just want the prime meat. Run up to it. As you can see, torpor is already starting to go back down, or will be in a bit. But also, whilst waiting for the torpidity to go down, its hunger has gone down, and it will eat the raw prime meat a lot quicker. This is, of course, a shoulder mount, so you pick it up and put it on your shoulder. You can then, of course, throw it onto the ground. You can give it commands. It is pretty cool, and I think in terms of the shoulder mounts, this is one of the more useful dinos. If you have multiples of these, they do get a pack bonus, and as I've said, they are very useful because they attack players. Definitely a useful PvP creature. They will attack players even if they are mounted, and in a pack, these things can take out a lot of things. I've used them to take out death worms. I've taken out bosses with it here on the Ragnarok map. I've cleared out caves with it. Very, very useful creature. I would definitely also suggest trying to breed these for stats. They are small, they lay eggs, they're fairly easy to do so. I think they are amazing. The only problem with them, if you do have a pack of Dimorphodons, is they don't do so well against creatures that have AoE attacks. So for example, a Rex would take them out, a bear, because it has a very high damage and it is an area of effect as well, so it does tend to attack multiple Dimorphodons. However, they're that powerful that I've used them, as I've said, to take out bosses here on Ragnarok in the cave. So I've taken out death worms. Really, really, really powerful creature. Definitely worth having. Obviously, it's powerful in a pack. In terms of leveling up the Dimorphodon, I would recommend that you invest heavily in hit points and damage. The quicker it takes something out, the less damage it will take, and the more damage it does, the quicker it will take creatures out. Very good creature, especially when you add the little pack bonus that they get when there's multiples of them. And actually, if you ask me, the Dimorphodons and vultures are some of the more useful shoulder mounts in that they are very good to take with you into caves as a pack. Have them set to pretty much attack my target and then just let them go crazy. Things won't get close to you. All you need is a shield and you just pretty much waltz into any cave and get your artifacts very, very, very easily. That's the way I've been farming artifacts here on Ark. I've made several videos on it and it works like a charm. Now, of course, with that said, do bear in mind that there is a small handful of caves where it is not recommended that you take Dimorphodons in, simply because of the dangers or the creatures in there. Generally, as I said, bears can pretty much wipe them quite quickly, so that is an area you don't want to go. And if you go into a cave that has environmental hazards such as lava, then you really don't want to take them in there. Or if you do take them in there, make sure you are quick on your commands to recall them if they get close to the lava. So for example, if they take out a onyx or a bat and the bat falls and they will want to harvest that, you have to be very quick to recall them so they don't actually go into the lava to try and harvest that dead creature. Seeing as my Dimorphodon was already on the ground, what I would recommend, if you see one that is flying but out of reach, then use a long neck rifle to kite it or get its aggro. As it gets close to you, then swap to a bola and then use the bola to bring it down to the ground. Obviously stay at a distance, then commence the process of knocking it out. Do bear in mind that whilst they can be close to other Dimorphodons, if you have aggroed a Dimorphodon that is close to another Dimorphodon, that will of course also aggro the other Dimorphodon. So do be careful and be prepared to defend yourself. Now, the way I would do this is I would use a Rex or some sort of creature with a lot of AoE. A bear works just as fine. Make sure you don't kill the one that you've just knocked out or bowled. And then when the area is clear, just knock out the one that you want to tame and just tame it. With that being said and done, that is it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed and found it useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides you on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself.